Hey, how's it going, boys, girls, Trojans, and vassals alike? It is I, Overlord Figmori, here to do a comparison between the SH Figuarts Warsman and the revol-mini Warsman. I'm going to make this video relatively short because there's not really much to say about these two figures other than the fact that I do slightly prefer the revol-mini because they're based off the manga. And as you can plainly see, the revol-mini Warsman is based off the manga color where he has the brown skin, black armor, and briefs. Whereas the SH Figuarts, based off the anime, he has, kind of makes it look like he has a bodysuit. You can kind of see where his midsection is black and his limbs are gray. It kind of makes him look like he's wearing a bodysuit. And that's a little weird. This looks more natural to me, and I just really like the simplicity of the revol-mini manga colors, where it's just three colors, brown, black, and white with a little bit of silver. Whereas the SH Figuarts, he has yellow, light gray, black, red, and white. So there's that. His briefs on the SH Figuarts is actually a matte finish, as you can see, whereas the revol-mini actually has a shininess to it, kind of like they wanted to match everything, whereas his helmet, shoulders, and boots, they wanted to also make his briefs shiny, which I can commend them for that. But unfortunately, the plastic, I guess this is going to be the first, well, I'd say the only negative, aside from the fact that it's a 3-inch figure and not a 5-inch. But the material they used for the briefs, in order for them to recreate, or at least get him looking shiny like the rest of his parts of his body, unfortunately, when you try and move his articulation on his feet, they kind of like do like a rippling. You can kind of see it. See that? Like the plastic on the, I don't know if that's the paint or the plastic, could be both, but it just looks, it unfortunately just causes a ripple effect, which looks unsightly. Normally I'd be way more upset than I should be, but because this is actually my second Warsman, there's nothing wrong with my first one. I'm just on a mission to get at least doubles for each revol-mini figures, just to show my support, even though they're not making any. So I'm not really too mad about this because I already have another Warsman. He's somewhere over there on display for display purposes only, whereas this one is going to be for posing, so this doesn't really bother me, but it might bother you if you're looking to get a Warsman. In terms of aesthetic, the SH Figuarts and any other SH Figuarts Kinnikuman figure, they have a different musculature going on for the molds. Like this Warsman has a little bit of Kinnikuman and Rod Mask throughout his body, whereas the revol-mini all have the same mold, so there's really no difference in the muscles. Aside from that, oh yeah, the shape of the head on the SH Figuarts Warsman here is actually slightly rounder, like the top of the head, whereas the revol-mini Warsman here, he has more of a pill-shaped, oval-shaped head. You can kind of see that, the differences. Also, he has white eyes. That's something you probably already noticed. He has white eyes, and he has red eyes. This one just looks more like he looks evil. Like this whole color, I just realized that that Warsman here, the SH Figuarts anime version, he looks more evil because of the color of his eyes and then the rest of his suit. That's something it just dawned on me this very second. Whereas this one, I don't know, it just looks more natural with the brown skin and white eyes. But yeah, in terms of articulation, the SH Figuarts has way more freedom of movement because of his ball joints, double jointed limbs, and whatnot. The SH Figuarts, while he does have ball joints at the neck, he is somewhat limited in terms of what he can do and how natural he looks in those poses. However, when it comes to action-y dynamic poses, the revol-mini just looks superbly better. It just does, trust me. If you look at the slideshows, you will see what I mean. Also, in accessories, the revol-mini does come with just a little bit more than the SH Figuarts. The SH Figuarts only came with aside from those two closed hands, he came with these two open palmed hands. His bear claws. Here you go. Oh yeah, speaking of which, something I completely forgot to mention. Another minor thing, his little I call them tiles on his top of his hand. They have kind of like a white outline, whereas the SH Figuarts does not have any at all. I kind of like this better. I mean, I kind of like this figure overall, but let me see. What was I? Oh yeah, accessories. The SH figuarts has this thing where you have to remove the entirety of the Warsman's head in order to replace him for his concerned face, where he has these are sweat marks, and his evil face. So you had to take out the entirety of the head to replace it, which if you ask me, they could have easily incorporated some sort of mechanic where you can just remove the mask entirely and just do it that way. The only thing you probably have to worry about is how loose some of the masks would be, because let me just put these here, because the revol-mini here, oh man, my allergies are kicking in. I apologize. Ooh, whoa, there's like pollen in my room or something. The revol-mini does not come with replaceable heads, but instead comes with replaceable masks, as you can see, where you can kind of see the peg right there. Yeah, they have this little peg here, which all you would have to do is pull down on the mask, and you just peg this one in. That's how you do it. Also, again, looking at the differences, the revol-mini has white eyes. This one just looks more evil, but this one just looks cooler. More bias for me. He doesn't come with a concerned face, but instead comes with this, it's made to look like his mask is cracked. I don't know if you can kind of see it. You can kind of see it. You can see these little lines are meant to indicate that his mask is cracked, and these little dots are actually sweat marks. Had they molded the eyes to make it look more like a concerned eyes, kind of like his, I would have preferred this face, but I'm kind of like even on this. Had this also been like a cracked mask, that would have been cool. Also, the revol-mini surprisingly comes with his robot face. This is actually his face, what's under his mask. I will say the SH figuarts does a little bit more of a better job at showing the intricate details, but this is not that bad for how small this is, the detail on this. The only minor thing is that little circular thing is actually supposed to be his eyeball, and that's actually colored white. But in this one, it's one solid color like the rest of it. But that's pretty interesting, because the SH figuarts does not come with the robot face, technically. In order to get the robot face, you have to buy a separate figure entirely in order to get his robotic face, which sucks. But there's that. In terms of hand accessories, he comes with a little bit more, because the SH figuarts only came with 2 closed hands and this open palmed hand, which also, by the way, has a little hinge right there. But the revol-mini comes with these expressive opened palmed hands, dynamic expressive open. That's a mouthful. And he came with these holding, grasping hands. Also, by the way, if you didn't notice, luckily each one of these hands have the little tiles molded on, which I think is great, because you don't have to worry about constantly replacing them. Kind of like well, no, because the one bad thing about these little tile things is unfortunately, when I'm trying to put on the bear claws, because of how small the peg is, it's very loose on mine. Like, it doesn't even stay on. If I were to put it on his thing right there, it's just gonna come off. Like, I can't even, well, I mean, they somewhat stick on if you have his palm facing upwards, but if you have him facing at an angle or facing downwards, they fall off, so that sucks. It doesn't bother me that much, but I think, because I know how I may be able to fix it. But yeah, there's that. Also, very interesting that this is a very scene-specific accessory, where he comes with these broken bear claws. This very rarely happens in the manga. Maybe in the anime, I don't know. But in the manga, this was more of like a scene-specific, where his bear claws break. So I think that's very interesting that they would include this. And if you combine this with the battle damage little mask here, it would actually make a perfect combination to indicate that he is in battle damage, essentially. Aside from that, the revol-mini also came with the typical revol-mini stand here, which you can peg at the bottom of his foot. This is a standard of which most all revol-mini comes with, and a revoltech stand that I don't have with me, but this is pretty much essentially what it comes similar. There's actually a, what's it called? Tengen Toppa Gurren. That's something else entirely. So that was pretty much it. If you've seen my other revol-mini review thingamajigs, they pretty much have the same articulation throughout. There's nothing too crazy, so it's all the same. The only thing to worry about is that the plastic on the briefs will have a ripple effect. So if it bothers you that much, maybe you should get a second one. because they're not that expensive if you know where to look. Like I get mine on Amazon Japan. They're like below $20, and for what's there, the attention to detail, the articulation, the dynamic poses, I think they're pretty good. So much so that I wish they were 5 inches, kind of like the SH figuarts here, because they deserve to be. So it's a shame they're not making it anymore. But that is about it. Warsman, who is actually robot. Technically, he should be a cyborg, but apparently it doesn't really make much sense. This review's over. Did you agree? Did I do a good comparison? Shit up. What do you know? Oh shit, don't count me!